you for coming. We are gonna get ourselves started. Nice, comfortable seated position. If you wanna cross your legs here, rest your hands just on the side of your knees. Taking a moment to just sit up nice and tall. You wanna lift your chest and your chin slightly here. You can go ahead and close your eyes. And we're just gonna take a couple rounds of breath. So nice and slow. You can imagine breathing into your belly, making some nice space, maybe a little bit of lift with your shoulders here. And then as you exhale, blow out, press those shoulders down and away, making some nice space on both sides. Staying with our breath, we'll take a couple more rounds here. Just kind of making some space, maybe clearing out our minds, just kind of getting ready for our practice. Keeping your eyes closed here if you're comfortable with that. But finding your next inhale, go ahead and breathe in and think nice long spine. So initiating at the bottom around your tailbone, you can imagine the breath traveling up through the top of your head. And then as you exhale, we're gonna drop our left ear down towards our left shoulder, opening up on the right. So if this stretch is enough for you, just like this, you can stay as you are. But you also have the option, if you want to pick that right hand up, dropping those fingertips down on your yoga mat, just right next to you. You feel that lengthen even more. The side of your neck, through those trap muscles and shoulders. Pausing here to take a round of breath, to breathe into these little muscles here on the side of your neck. Nice area to stretch out, also to pause with, so you can really relax down with those shoulders. Returning that right hand back to the side of your knee. We're going to use our breath to lift our head back to the center. And then gently using the exhale to drop down to the other side. So moving slowly, bringing the right ear down towards the right shoulder. And then feeling that space open up on the left. So again, you can keep that left hand on your knee if it's comfortable there, but you can also drop those fingertips down to the side, lengthen that out just a little bit more. Pausing for a round of breath. Returning that left hand to your left knee. Lifting that head up in the center. Take a breath, nice full inhale. And as you exhale, we're gonna drop our chin down towards our chest. So moving really slow. See if we can feel those sensations in the back sides of your neck, both sides. Moving into the traps, the tops of the shoulders, staying with those sensations. Letting our heads hang nice and heavy here. Inhaling that head right back up. Dropping those left fingertips down towards your yoga mat on the side of the body. Using a breath to lift this right arm up, lean over towards that left side. Using the next inhale to open with your chest, so you take your gaze up towards the ceiling. And then use the exhale to just fold forward. So you're gonna let this right arm just float down on the side of that knee. Very passive, you can round into it. Inhale back up. And we're just gonna twist ourselves over to the right side. Nice little gentle twist here. Slowly releasing in the center, you can shake that out. We're gonna repeat that little sequence, same side. Left fingertips drop down. Right arm comes over with an inhale. You lean into it even more on the exhale. Using the next breath to open your chest. And then the exhale takes you down into that fold. You just float down, feel the stretch. up, we'll come into that twist, grabbing that right knee, turning the body towards the right. Head is over that back shoulder. And release into the center, you can shake that out. Or reverse to the other side. So the right fingertips drop down. The left arm comes over with an inhale, you lean into it. The exhale lets you sink into it a little further. Next inhale opens you up with the chest. And then that exhale, you blow out and float this arm down. Rising up, we'll move into that twist on that left side. You rotate to grab that knee. Turn the head, nice gentle twist, not pushing it too hard right here. Slowly let go, shake that out if it feels good. And again, we'll repeat that one more time. Right fingertips down. Left arm comes up with a breath, you breathe in. Exhale to lean into it a little further. Inhale to open up. And exhale to round down. Next breath brings us up, twisting over to the left side here. Releasing in the middle, you can shake that out, a little twist. And then taking a couple rounds of a seated cat-cow. So if you want to hold onto your knees here to get a little grip, and then open your chest, your chin, and lift up in the center with a breath. And then round through, hold onto those knees, let the chin come towards the chest. You imagine making that space between your shoulder blades in the back. And then just moving through these two poses. So if you want to close your eyes here and just kind of tune into your body. And you know, the idea is as we're able to lengthen and deepen our breath, you might be able to also increase your range of motion here. So just moving slow enough to stay with those sensations in your body. Noticing where they are, what they feel like, just staying very present. Pausing back in the center, a nice tall spine. Taking those hands from off your knees, let's circle out those wrists. You think about going nice and slow so you can see what it feels like in those different positions here. Great area to take care of, but an easy area to forget about. So our wrists do a whole bunch in a yoga class, and it's nice to give them a little bit of attention just for themselves. From here, we're going to transition to all fours. So right there in the middle of your mat, nice little place for you to be. Hands underneath the shoulders here, knees right underneath the hips. And again, you can start with some cat-cow. So if you drop the belly down, lift the chin up. And then round through, pressing into your palms like you were pressing your yoga mat down and away, so you really feel the width and the space you create between your shoulder blades. You got it. We'll just move through here one more time. Centering out in the middle. I'll take just a little bit of balance work here this morning. So if you start with your right foot, extend that back. Take a moment to just press through your heel. So feel that stretch through your calf muscle. Notice how you don't have to go very far at all to feel that stretch. Centering out with the weight, so you'll just come right back to the middle. Maybe opening your eyes for balance here. We're gonna lift that right foot up off of the floor. And then with the left hand, we're gonna walk those fingertips forward towards the top of our mat. When you're ready, you take a moment to just kind of regroup, think about your connection points. Then with a breath, we'll lift those left fingertips up, and you're gonna think about a nice reach. So reach to the fingertips, reach to the toes in the back. And then we're gonna round right through the middle. So we pull the knee and the elbow right into the center of our body. We're moving slow, maybe working through the wobbles, that's okay. Reaching out again, finding your breath, and pulling through the center. Keeping this going if you can. Remember, slow and steady. So if you get nice and wobbly, pause for a moment, regroup, find your connection points, find your breath. One more time here, staying strong through that right hand that's down on your yoga mat. This time when you come to the center, pull in nice and tight. So make this nice tension right in the middle of your body. Then exhale to set all of that back down. Picking that right wrist up, giving it a little circle. It's probably gonna appreciate the love right now. Whatever you need to do to stretch that out. Staying with the same right hand, just go ahead and thread it behind the left. So you're gonna bend that left elbow, lowering down onto this right shoulder for this thread the needle pose. Getting yourself nice and comfortable. Relaxing that right hand down fully. And then see what feels good with the left side. So you can walk your fingertips forward. Get a little more stretch on the side of the body. You also have the option to take this left hand behind your back. So those fingertips would rest somewhere over there towards your right hip bone. Much bigger opening through the chest and the shoulder on that left side. So if it feels a little too intense, just drop that hand back down. Just kind of finding the place where it feels good, where you can relax into it, where you can breathe. That's the most important piece. We'll return that left hand back down towards the side of our face. Using your next breath, we're going to press into this left palm and then take this right arm all the way up towards the ceiling for a nice little twist. Reach to those fingertips. Exhale and take that back down. You got it. We're going to switch over to the other side. So starting with the leg first, the left leg extends back. Take that moment where you press back into the heel so you feel the stretch through those calf muscles. Feels nice on the lower legs. Centering your weight out, so you just come right back to the center. We'll pick that left foot up off of the mat back there. Taking your time to walk these right fingertips forward. Opening your eyes for balance. Think about that left hand here, so nice and strong. You're pressing into that palm. And then with a breath, these fingertips can slowly rise up off of your yoga mat. Find the reach. You reach through the fingers, through the toes. And then as you blow out, you'll pull right here in the center. The knee and the elbow bends, the chin comes towards your chest. And we're gonna move through this. Take your time, reach, find your breath, find your balance. Great practice. It's okay if you're a little wobbly here. We're just practicing moving through that. So inhale to find your length, you reach. Exhale to pull right back to the center. We'll go one more time here, moving at your own pace. It might be a little slower, a little quicker. This time when you come to the center, pull in nice and tight. Hold that for a moment, then exhale to press it all down. Picking your left hand up this time. That wrist probably wants a little love. It feels really good to circle it out. And then we'll take that thread the needle pose with that left arm coming underneath the right. Bending that right elbow and lowering down. Taking a moment first to soften that left hand. You can relax those fingers here. And then see what feels good with your options with this right hand. Whether you want to keep it right next to your face or you walk those fingertips forward. Or you can take that hand right behind your back for a little more stretch to the shoulder there. Sometimes it's worth just experimenting with the options and see what feels good. You don't even have to do the same thing that you did on the other side. Returning that right hand down towards the side of your face. Press into that palm, and then with a breath, a nice big inhale, you're gonna lift yourself up, twist and open towards the left, reach towards the ceiling, and then exhale and take it down. Very nice. Finding your right leg, we're gonna pick that up with a bent knee and just start to make these little circles with your hip here, so kind of wake up our hip and see how we're doing with our range of motion, our mobility. If it's feeling good and you want to increase these circles and make them a little bigger, you can. But also completely fine to keep them small. Coming around a couple more times. And then we're going to find this place where you take this same right leg. We're going to step it to the front on the outside of that right hand. So just at some point that leg comes around, step into the outside of that right hand. And you send those hips forward into this lunge. And then let yourself roll out on that right side so we're in this little lizard pose. You got it. Staying on your hands if that feels good. You have the option to lower down to your forearms, one or both. Or if you want to take a little twist here, you can place that hand on top of that thigh and turn right into it. So a little bigger stretch to the quad you'll feel there. I do like the twist option, but We're seeing what feels good with your body here. Slowly letting this come back down to the center. Returning that foot flat to the floor, and then we're gonna walk it to the center. So letting that right hand move to the outside of the foot. So we're here in our lunge. You'll send those hips forward to the front of your mat. Once your balance is there and you're ready, we'll lift those arms up overhead. Arriving at the top. If it feels good for you, take a little lean back, you can. Coming back to the center, straight up here. Now think nice and tall. With a breath, you're gonna inhale, reach through your fingertips. Use an exhale to drop your left hand down towards the back of your left leg. Yeah. And then lean and back, so kind of like a reverse warrior there. And then as you blow it again, we're gonna let both arms just windmill around towards this front knee. And so that'll be our little sequence. Your next inhale takes both arms up overhead. The exhale is going to drop that left arm down towards the back of that left leg. The next inhale leans you back, and then the next exhale takes you around to the front. So moving through this, we'll go 2 more times. Once your breath is there, you might find a little flow. You might be able to speed it up a little bit. Those are all nice options, but of course, some days are a little wobbly and you might have to work through that and slow it down. That's okay too. You got it. One more time. Round into the front. We'll pause on this last one here. Returning both of those hands down to frame that foot. And then working this front lunge to a half split. So if you find the inhale, press your hips forward. Then use the exhale to pull these toes up, walk your hands and your hips back. And then just move through those two. So you'll press forward, you'll send it back. You have an option here to tuck those toes in the back. Sometimes that'll give you a little more stability to move through this, so you can see what that feels like. You can take that half split down as low as you would like. So if those hips want to come all the way down towards that heel, you can do that as well. But just breathe, see what feels good for this hamstring as you do that. We're going to take one more time. The next time you come into this half split, go ahead and hold it. Round in your body here, we're going to take this very passive fold. So you can imagine kind of making like that C shape with your body, but feel the stretch all the way from the back of your neck, through your spine, your low back, your glute, your hamstring, your calf, down towards your heel. Inhale to take this forward, right back into your lunge. Pause in here for a moment. And then with that back leg, we're gonna tuck the toes and lift the knee up. Taking this front foot, stepping it back into a plank position. You got it, shifting the weight forward just a little bit. Bending the elbows, take a push up to lower yourselves down. Using an inhale to lift up into a cobra as you untuck those toes in the back. Feels so good on the lower back here. Lowering yourself down. Using a breath, you're gonna tuck the toes first and see if you can push yourself right back up into that plank position. So a lot of muscle work there. You got it. Next inhale takes those hips up nice and high, down tall. Let those heels press down closer towards your yoga mat. Letting the head hang nice and heavy. Might be worth kind of shaking it out, yes or no even. Just a nice little trick to loosen and let go of some tension there. Taking an inhale, we're gonna rise up more to the balls of our feet so our weight shifts forward just a little bit. And then use the exhale to press those heels back down. And we're gonna move through that. So as you inhale, you lift up maybe a little higher this time. And then as you exhale, press back down. Maybe you get a little closer towards your mat with your heels. One more time. Inhale to pick those heels up, really pressing into the balls of your feet. Exhale, back down as low as you can go this time. Letting that head hang nice and heavy. Take a moment to blow out. From here, you can lift those heels slightly. We're just going to take our knees back down to our yoga mats, all fours. Untucking the toes, you got it.
Finding your left leg, we're gonna pick that foot up and just make those little circles here, circling around the body, very small to start. See how this feels with your hip. It's worth going slow enough so you can really kind of tune in and just see. If it feels good for your range of motion to make that a little bigger, you can take that as well. Taking this around 2 more times. And then finding a place where we take this leg all the way to the front. We're gonna step to the outside of the left hand this time. Just step it out into the front, making those little adjustments as you need. Sending your hips forward. And then rolling out to the outside of that left foot right into your lizard pose. Experiment with your options here. If you want to hold where you are, you can try a forearm, or if you want to take that twist and lift up, you can. Noticing the lift through that back leg as well, right through the quad and the hip. Breathing into this, staying strong in that right hand. Lowering this hand back down to our yoga mats, letting that foot return down flat, and then walking it to the center. So we'll take the hand over to the outside of this foot, pressing your hips forward to the front of your mat, maybe opening your eyes for balance. When you're ready, we're gonna lift these fingertips up off of our yoga mats. Take your time, reaching up towards the ceiling here. You might have to work through your wobbles, that's fine. Once you arrive, that right arm is going back down towards the back of your right leg. Find an inhale to lean yourself back slightly. Then use the exhale to windmill both of these arms around, holding onto that front knee as you lower down with the upper body. Moving through this little sequence, take your time. Remember, if you get too wobbly, it's worth slowing down, slower than you think. Dropping that right arm down, you lean back, kind of in that reverse warrior pose. Exhale to take it around to the front. Just finding your breath and breathing with this. You got it. We'll take one more round. Breathing through it. Finding your own pace. You know, sometimes it might be a little slower, a little quicker. Again, it might be different on both sides of your body. When you come to the front, let's pause here. Lowering those arms down to frame this front foot. Noticing where your hips are. They might have room to go towards the front of the mat there. And then we'll move between this low lunge and half split. So you walk it back with the hands and the hips, pulling those toes up, and just moving through that. An inhale takes you into the low lunge. An exhale brings you into that half split. Remembering you have the option to tuck those toes in the back to see how that feels for your stability. And then you can lower your hips down as much as you would like. So moving through this a couple more times. This time pausing in the back for your half split. You can let that head come all the way down. So you take that very passive fold. Feel that C stretch through the back of your body here. And pressing right back into your lunge. With that back foot, we're gonna tuck the toes and lift the knee up. And step that front foot back right into that plank pose. Shifting that weight forward slightly. So you have the option to bend your knees here and take a modified push-up. Otherwise, we're gonna bend our elbows and lower our bodies down, letting the knees drop when they need to. Untucking the toes in the back. And we're gonna take a little series of cobras here. So with your breath, breathe, and we're gonna lift up maybe just halfway. And then exhale, kind of float it back down. So moving through this. You'll breathe in, taking a little longer on your inhale, rising a little higher. Exhale to float back down, just kind of like a wave. Just bring this up and down each time. 2 more times, so you'll inhale a little deeper, little higher with this pose. Exhale down, and then we'll take one more round. Using this nice full inhale to press into those palms to lift up as high as you would like into this cobra pose. Exhale to float yourself back down. Taking those arms, we're gonna move the forearms in front of our body here. Just a little smaller back bend here. Finding your shoulders and just press those down. Pausing here for a moment to kind of catch your breath. Staying just like this if you're comfortable with this pose. But you also have the option to lift up an elbow one at a time. As you lift, you're gonna turn your head towards that shoulder and then just reverse that over to the other side. So you lift the elbow, you turn the head, noticing that big side body stretch that you get in here too. Good, just taking your time to work through that. Good, pausing in the middle. So pause here for this pose. Finding your right leg, we're gonna take it out to the side. So we're gonna take this little half of frog position here. Feel that stretch through your hip. And then with the elbow on the same side, we're gonna lift up that right elbow. So you lift up, and then this left arm is gonna come underneath like a thread the needle pose. And then what you're gonna do is press into that right palm. We're gonna open this all the way up into your twist. So you take a nice big sigh or exhale once you get there. I know, it feels so good. Make some little adjustments. That top knee and foot can move around a bit. You're kind of looking for a place where you can relax into both of those hips. It's a very big opening through your chest, your shoulder. So if those arms being teed out like this feel a little too intense, then just move that arm around until you find a place where you're like, okay, this is good. I'm gonna take a couple rounds of breath and this big twist for our spines. Staying here for a few rounds of breath, getting yourself comfortable, gently pulling yourself back to your breath. Nice and easy, we're gonna start to make our way back to our bellies on our mat. So we're coming out of this pose the same way that we came in. So that top arm just goes back around towards the right side. You'll press into that palm to use it for a little support. That way that right leg returns back underneath your body. Same thing with the left. So you come right back to that pose with both of your forearms down. And we'll reverse that over to the other side. So the left leg goes out. You take that little frog position. The left elbow lifts up. And then you make space for that right arm to come underneath. You thread the needle. Press into that left palm. It might scooch in a little closer towards your body. And then take your roll. You open up into that twist. Exhale, blow out. Getting yourself nice and comfortable here. Remembering that that top leg can move around the knee and the foot. Looking for that place where you feel like you can relax those hips. And taking a moment maybe to check in with both of them. You can kind of start with that bottom hip and glutes. Sometimes it's easy to stay tight in those areas. So you can imagine relaxing that glute muscle down first and then just soften through the hip. Same thing with that top hip. Noticing if there's any tension right there in that glute muscle and seeing if you can't just soften that down a bit. We'll gently start to make our way out of this pose. That top arm will go back over and around. Pressing into that palm so we can return back to our bellies. That leg will come back underneath. Same thing with that arm. You can take those elbows a little further out to the side of your body so you can make space for your chest to load down here. And then we're gonna take our right hand around, reach for that right leg, grabbing the foot, the ankle, whatever you can get a hold of. Resting the side of your face down onto that left hand. We're gonna take just this very gentle quad stretch. So you can stay just like this if you're comfortable. You can also experiment with just pulling that knee up a little bit. As soon as you pull up, you'll feel that stretch deepen through the quad there, the top part of your leg. Slowly we'll lower this leg down and reverse that over to the other side. So you'll reverse your hand as well. Taking that left leg around to grab, your left hand around to grab that left leg. Keeping that knee relaxed down if that's enough for you, or just pulling that knee up slightly. Holding on to this left foot, we're not gonna let it go, but we're gonna pick our head up, taking our right hand around to grab that right foot. So going for both of them if we can. And then moving with a little series of breaths. So we've got both of our feet in our hands. With an inhale, you're gonna breathe in, lift your chin. See if your knees will come up off of your mat just a little bit. Exhale to lower that down. So we're gonna move through this 3 more times. An inhale lifts you up. And you kind of think that same thing as you deepen your breath. Maybe you increase your range of motion a tiny bit. We're just taking baby steps. 2 more times, feeling that big stretch to the quads, both legs here. Inhale to lift yourself up. Exhale to take it down. And let's try one more time, bit of a challenge here. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to take it down, loosening those hands around your feet, lowering the feet down. Positioning those hands right on the side of your chest. Pressing into the palms, inhale, lifting up into a cobra pose. Using your next breath to lift the hips up and send them all the way back, right into a child's pose. Whatever variation of child's pose you like the best. Taking a little time to just get yourself comfortable here. You can move those feet, open those knees a bit more if that feels good. Closing your eyes as the center of your forehead just rests down on your yoga mat. Soften a bit with the elbows. They can come in a little closer towards your face as you relax down. Through the hands and the fingers as well. Child's pose is such a great position to practice your belly breathing. So we'll take a few rounds here. Just breathing into your belly on that inhale. You just take your time. Feel that expansion through your belly and your chest, your shoulders and back even. And then just let that breath make its way down your spine towards your tailbone. You can think about that area just getting nice and heavy here. And staying with that, couple rounds of breath here just on your own. You take that time to practice staying with your breath. Seeing if you can't just stay with one full round of breath. Keeping that focus. Not worrying too much if it doesn't work, just knowing that this is a practice. Staying here in our child's pose, picking up with our head just enough to where we can walk both of our hands over towards the left side of your mat, maybe right off the side of your mat may work as well. Once you get those hands over there, you can lower that forehead back down. Feeling this nice big side body stretch to the whole right side of the body. You can feel that kind of underneath the armpit through the lat muscles, the obliques right out of the hips. Maybe breathing into that side of the body, you can make some space on your inhale. And sending it down towards your tailbone on the exhale. Let's lift that head just enough to take those hands, walking them back through to center. And then this time moving them over towards the right. So we're just taking little baby steps here to get that side body stretch. Lowering the head back down once you arrive. Again, maybe breathing into the left side of your body. Feeling the expansion as you do. Gently picking that head up, let's return the hands to the center. Sliding them in towards our face. Pressing into those palms to lift ourselves up. Bringing those knees a little closer together if you have those open. Keeping your hips up high, we're just walking those hands out right into a puppy pose. So very similar to child's pose, where you rest the center of your forehead down, but a little more active through the upper body. So you'll find the reach through your fingertips here. Feeling that side body stretch on both sides. But most importantly, noticing the lift in your spine. Kind of think about making space between the vertebrae here. Taking 2 rounds of breath to breathe into your puppy pose. Sliding those hands back in towards the side of our face here. Moving slow as you press into those palms to lift up. We're just going to lower our hips down and having a seat on our heels if that's a comfortable position for you. If not, you can switch to your bottom, so you're in a nice cross-legged position. But take that moment where you sit up nice and tall. Lift your chest, lift your chin. You can rest your hands in your laps here. Palms down or palms up, nice little option to try too. Noticing where your shoulders are and if there's any room for your shoulders to press down away from your ears. We'll finish out our practice this morning in this upright position. A little more energetic than laying on our backs here. Nice option for practicing yoga in the morning. But finding your breath, we'll take 2 rounds here. So seeing if you can stay with it. Taking your time to breathe slowly, breathe deeply. You can let that natural rise of your shoulders happen. And as you blow out, maybe you blow it with a nice little sigh, just help you let go of a few things there. Taking 1 more breath, just like that. Breathing deep into your bellies. Take your time. Exhaling with a nice little sigh, we'll blow out. If you would like, we'll bring those palms together right